German companies now spreading all over China. Very typical is you start, of course, with a co-limited, let's say a Shanghai co-limited, and then you very quickly usually open your branches China-wide, because now the new markets, this is not Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen anymore. You have now the second, third, lower tier cities with where the people are very hungry for consumption, rich middle class, willing to spend money. This is also the new generation is spending the money, not saving it under the pillow anymore.
Hi everyone, this is the Peking University HSBC Business School Entrepreneurship Society. Today we are speaking with Matthias Müller, the founder of China Link. So Mr. Müller, may I ask you to introduce yourself?
Yes, so yeah, first of all, thanks for inviting me here to this platform. It's my pleasure to say a few words. Yeah, my name is Matthias Müller. Yeah, since basically 1 year, I'm now back from China, back to my hometown, Berlin. I used to live in China for more than 23 years in a row. I was actually in the beginning in Beijing for more than 8 years. I was started there at the German Chamber of Commerce. Then after that, I was actually joining TUI. You know, TUI, the Europe's biggest travel group. Had the pleasure to be there at the market entry stage for TUI. I was setting up their marketing and PR department. And after that, in 2006, I changed to Shanghai, and then I was joining the team to set up the new German center by that time in Pudong. So basically, the building was brand new. The old German center was located at the Tongji Daxue, you know, the Tongji University. And the new building was in the Zhangjiang High-Tech Park, Shanghai's biggest industrial park. So we were setting up this German center. I was doing that until basically the last day when I left China. But also then the last 6 years or 7 years, we set up a new German center in Taicang. Why Taicang? Taicang is located near Shanghai, like 40-50 kilometers out of Shanghai. But it is the #1 location for German companies or German manufacturing companies in China, actually. So you have kind of the highest density of German companies there who are producing, and it's more than 400. So, and I was running this German center as a managing director. So I was the GM and the board member. And yeah, and until today, I'm coming now to my current task. Once I come back, it was a long time in China. I also used to study in China in '94. I was studying in Hangzhou. In 1990, I was studying for 1 year in Taiwan. So I've been on and off with China after all. But when I came back, I started my own company, as you mentioned in the beginning, China Link. Also, one of my current projects, I'm functioning as the investment promotion ambassador for the city of Taicang. What a coincidence, huh? So, but I think it is a good task because Taicang actually they have their own representative office in Germany, in Frankfurt, but currently no people there due to Corona. They're all back in China. So I do a lot of representative tasks also now for Taicang. This is one part of the story. And this is where I am today, brand new entrepreneur. So I started this whole thing in last year, September, my own company. But I believe that the main goal is basically to use my networks on both sides. I'm very well connected, obviously, in China. And I'm also good connected here in Germany and building up more and more that network here. And I want to be of advantage for the German and Chinese companies to be a bit the interface to help both sides to find each other, to do business with each other. German companies for the market entry in China and vice versa, Chinese companies coming here and so on. So that's a bit the rough overview. And yeah, so of course, it's a bit a pity in the moment with the whole pandemic situation, but this applies to everyone and everywhere, not only to China, but for the business travel, of course, it's a bit an obstacle, because if you need to go to China, which is possible, but you will have to spend a lot of time, first of all, be in quarantine there.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your introduction. Certainly sounds like a very exciting and extensive career. So from your experience, may I just ask, what are the key opportunities for business between Germany and China?
I would say, I mean, first of all, you have to know that China is the most important trading partner of Germany, by far #1. That was not always the case, you know, so it used to be the European neighbor countries of Germany, but it already says a lot, I believe, that China has become the most important business partner of Germany, so that we import a lot from China, even more than we export to China, but all in all, it's pretty much balanced, but it is a very high trading volume. So, and you know, China is first of all the biggest sales market in the whole world, with, yeah, you name any product you want, computers, mobile phones, cars, apples, beer. The highest consumption market is sales market is China. So then Germany together with China, they are the export world champions. Currently China's #1, Germany's #2. So that is, from the very simple approach, already a pretty clear matchmaking. Export champion, biggest sales market. So that's why you actually also have already in China, I think around 7,000 German companies. So there is already a lot of German business, and the companies keep on expanding. So when I was in China, you could actually say that probably 9 out of 10 newcomers from German companies coming to the Chinese market were actually not really newcomers to the Chinese market, but they had to, as a consequence, or the high demand of the Chinese customers, they were kind of even forced to open an office, at least an office in China, in order to better serve the customers, the market, the agents, everyone. And that often leads then to the next steps, assembling, setting up a production to be more efficient, put the R&D to China. So this is what is happening, ongoing right now. So this is one thing. Then I would say for the opportunities for the German companies, it is, I mean, first of all, you have to know that the market environment has changed. Now, today, most German companies are competing with Chinese companies in China. That was not the case always like this. Maybe 20 years ago, they were competing with other foreign companies, but that has changed as China has, yeah, promoted the domestic industry big time. And but that's okay, that's fine. That's competition is everywhere. But I believe that for the German business now, of course, you can see what are the what is the focus of China. If you look at the 5-year plan, there's always a pretty clear agenda what China is up to, and definitely environmental technology, digitalization, those are some keywords. And I believe, for example, topics like the green tech in this field, food consumer products, carbon footprint, as to mention some, but also cloud transformation technologies, Industry 4.0. These are all areas where Germany is also doing quite a good job. This might be some new opportunities. Me being here located in Berlin, which is actually the startup hub of Germany, there's a lot of interesting new companies. Maybe also another one, virtual prototyping, things like this becomes actually, especially now during pandemic times, a topic to do this kind of things in a remote way. So I think there is a lot of potential in some new areas I just mentioned, but then again you have of course the ongoing, the classic German strong industries like machinery and so on, and still German products enjoy a very high reputation in China. So really like the classic German virtues, quality, reliability, and so on and so forth. This is still very highly respected in China, and that is a good image for Germany, and that helps, of course. But Germany also has to continue working on that image because Chinese companies are taking over in some fields. If you look at AI sector, artificial intelligence, robotics, and so on. You see, if you look at Shenzhen, there's a lot happening. But again, I believe that there is still a lot of room for potential for both sides. In the classic fields, anyway, that's happening. The car market is still a big market, although China is changing now to the e-cars. That is, Germany has to catch up in this field. But yeah, as I said, it is the biggest trading partner. It has increased again since the last 2 years. So regardless of some media propaganda and China image in Germany, if I look at the business relationship between China and Germany, that looks super good. And I strongly believe it continues to do so.
I see. Thank you so much for sharing. Just a quick follow-up question. So on some of the industries you mentioned, may I just ask, where do German companies come in terms of the value chain in China? Is it upstream, downstream, or across the entire chain?
Yeah, it really depends, you know. I mean, there is if I look at Taizang, for instance, you have a lot of automotive suppliers providing spare parts, single parts to companies, but also completely finished products. So I would say that the whole range, that is, it really depends, you know, and they export complete machines, also single parts. You have the German companies in all kind of fields, and very typical is anyway, most of the German companies are the SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises. They run the show everywhere in the world, also in China. Of course, you have the big ones like Siemens, Bosch, and so on, but there's a lot of small, specialized German companies, and often they have just one single part. Nobody else can really produce it that quality. They are the so-called hidden champions, the world market leader. Nobody knows them, but with that one or two parts, they are very, very successful. So it really depends. I cannot say there's only this area or that area. It's you have really in all fields the German companies present there. I can only tell you that if you look at from the geographic point of view, that you have more than half of the German companies, they're located in the Shanghai, greater Shanghai area, Yangtze Delta area, simply because that's the business center. And it's also very convenient from there to serve the whole Chinese market. You can reach north, south, even Asia Pacific area within 3-4 flight hours. You are basically everywhere. Only the big German companies, maybe they have their China headquarters in Beijing, as they need to be a bit closer to the government for some lobbying reasons. But but then again, this is you have, and the German companies now spreading all over China. Very typical is you start, of course, with a co-limited, let's say a Shanghai co-limited, and then you very quickly usually open your branches China-wide. Because now the new markets, this is not Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen anymore. You have now the second, third, lower tier cities with where the people are very hungry for consumption, rich middle class, willing to spend money. This is also the new generation is spending the money, not saving it under the pillow anymore. So therefore, that is also huge potential for the companies to spread out, and this is what they're doing actually.
I see. Thank you so much for sharing. So my last question is, so it sounds like there's a lot of exciting opportunities for business between Germany and China. So may I ask, how does China Link help companies to do business in Germany and China?
Yeah, I think I mentioned a bit in the beginning. I would say my strength right now for my company is definitely the supporting the German companies or also European companies, let's say, for the market entry in China. Right now, I have one customer, a German company, also a world market leader. They now also want to go to China, and basically I support them, yeah, with the full range of market entry services. So starting from finding the location, where to settle down, to establish the company, to recruit the people, to arrange the accounting, tax services, legal services, and make a sales strategy for the market. So this is, I mean, there are many others who can also provide you the context, but I would say my strength also, I know I have all those contacts or personal contacts, as you usually say, the very good guanxi, you know, and it is a bit different if you have personal contacts. It makes it easier and more trustworthy for the German company. But besides that, I'm doing also sourcing projects in both directions. China anyway is always hungry for a lot of products from everywhere. So right now, for example, to give you an example, I'm looking for a Chinese customer for milk products here in Germany. Can tell you nobody can actually deliver the amount the Chinese customer needs. Usually they ask for different dimensions. Yeah, but on the other hand, I also do some sourcing for German companies in China. I would love to have a customer, a Chinese company. Maybe I can support here entering the German market. Is not the case yet. But if you ask me about my strengths, I would say it is bringing the companies to the Chinese market due to my strong network over there.
I see. Thank you so much for sharing. That's all the questions that I have for today. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Niklas.